where are we at with Jorge Prado and his chances for the outdoors this year? I talked about Supercross. The general consensus is pretty much what I thought, and that was this year it's learning. It's going to take some time to get it figured out. New bike, new team, first time in the US for an extended period of time. Last year he came over for a couple of rounds, but this is totally uncharted waters. It's going to take some time. His competitors have been cutting their teeth on Supercross tracks for years and years, if not a decade plus, and this is something that is new to him. So it's going to take some time. This year, pretty much a write-off. If he gets on the podium, awesome. If he wins, that would be absolutely outstanding. But just, get familiar, stay in it. Get to 17 rounds. I mean, just the schedule. We don't talk about it enough. 17 rounds, almost back to back, is grueling. It is brutal. It chews up everybody, but it chews up everybody except the fittest and the most determined riders out there. And I believe Jorge Prado is not going to have an issue there, but it's going to take some time. Outdoors, I haven't talked about, and that I believe is a different story. Now, there is this interesting dialogue that the US tracks are quite a bit different than the MXGP tracks. And an interesting example of this is, Tom Viall, that I was really hot on, really excited to see him last year in 250. I do believe there was a Supercross hangover, but he just underperformed expectations. Now, to say that that's because of the track is not necessarily fair, or because of the different tracks, but he is a two-time MXGP 250 class champion, and I was certainly surprised. So it's going to be really interesting to now see the king of MXGP twice, see how he does in the US outdoors. He has said, and other riders have said, the tracks are different. They are built differently. I'm definitely not a track expert, so take what I say with a grain of salt, but it looks like the MXGP tracks are left more natural. They don't build as big of jumps. They try to keep it sort of more natural. It gets more cut up, and naturally they just don't fuss over it like they do here. So, I have not ridden a professional level MXGP track, as I would imagine most of you haven't, so I don't have firsthand experience, but it does seem like it's different. So I want to hear what you guys think Prado's chances are for this year's outdoors. It's still going to be a learning curve, but obviously this is his bread and butter. He's been doing this for pretty much day one. And, are we thinking top 5 overall at the end of the year on the podium? Is he going to get some wins? Is there an even small chance that he could win the title? Is it also possible that, he takes a break, from focusing on Supercross, and maybe 1 or 2 months before the end of the Supercross season, he really starts to take up the motocross testing? Because this is obviously his first year, he's not going to be too focused about results like the other riders, and maybe he's going to be able to get a jump start on his outdoor prep. That could play to his favor, but it's also a different bike. It's going to be really fun to see him. He's a fan favorite already, and yeah, this outdoor season is going to be superb. Eli Tomac, Jet Lawrence, Chase, Jorge Prado. Last year it kind of sucked. Tomac was out, Jet Lawrence crashed out. It was pretty much a Hunter and Chase show, and Chase just kind of beat Hunter. Hunter's not quite on his level yet, but we are all hoping we get to see Jet Lawrence, Chase, Eli Tomac, and Jorge Prado, and Hunter Lawrence. He's legit. He's right there. But it'll be fun to see where they shake out, what it looks like. But yeah, long term, do I believe Jorge Prado can win an outdoor title? Absolutely. Is it this year? I would say the odds are a little bit against him winning it this year, but maybe the following year. But yeah, top 5 overall, I think, is really likely. But I do think we'll maybe get some wins, but it's still going to be a process, different bike, how that Kawasaki works. But let me hear what you guys think. Does anybody think he's going to win the title? The riders here are focused on Supercross. He's going to focus a little bit more on outdoors, but let's see what happens. Like I said, as always, leave your comments. Let me know What are you looking for Prado in the outdoors and and the indoors? Hopefully his recovery is coming good. I know there was a injury update that we didn't want to hear, missing A1. So once again, the grind, the grittiness of this sport is second to none, and I'm sure Jorge Prado is going to rise to the challenge. It's going to be fun to watch.